Can you cut him some slack now? A DoorDash driver is under fire today because a mom says he hit on her 15-year-old daughter. The mom says that they ordered from a restaurant delivered by DoorDash. The driver, Jared, who she estimated to be 19 to 21 years old, later hit on her 15-year-old. This is the mom talking now about what happened.
My daughter ordered DoorDash, which she should be able to do. And she should be able to do it and feel safe. After he drove away, this is the message she got. Hey, Katerina, you got a boyfriend? Sorry, you were just too cute, I had to ask. Call me a helicopter, Mom. Call me Karen. You can call me whatever you want. But this, not okay. My daughter is only 15, and mind you, a very young-looking 15. Okay, so there is absolutely no way that this was just some young guy shooting his shot at a pretty little girl. Okay?
Now, okay, she's very upset because he messaged her back, because he got her number now, and is basically asking her out, even though she's only 15 years old. Can you cut the driver some slack since he is himself in his early 20s? And she says, no, you absolutely cannot. The mom says no.
There is no possible way that she was mistaken as anybody he should be hitting on. So my reply was, Jared, Katerina is a minor. This is her mother. This is a food delivery service, not Tinder for pedophile behavior. I also went on to let him know that I not only notified DoorDash of this really inappropriate message to my 15-year-old daughter, but I also contacted the local police. Ooh. Did I go too far? I'm sorry. I don't think there is a too far when it comes to keeping your children safe.
Did Jared write back, hey, Karen, you got a man in yours?
Your mom and you're legal.
Oh, my.
I think she went too far here.
You do?
I do.
You think he just thought maybe she was older?
You don't know until you ask.
Right.
Now, if he would have done something extremely creepy,
yeah,
I would have said, okay, don't cut him some slack.
It's
but
different.
It was an honest question. Now, did he go about it the right way? Maybe he should have done it a little bit differently.
I think maybe face-to-face instead of using that number that is for a business transaction.
But I think it was an honest, hey, you don't know you don't know until you ask.
Man, I'm glad I'm not in the dating world anymore, because there was a time that a young woman, I was at a department store and we were doing a drawing, and she put her name and number into our box for drawing, and I dog-eared it so later I could go back and get it, and called her at work and asked her for a date. Mm-hmm. And that's a same type thing,
Exact same thing.
But now she was of age. I was in my early 20s and so was she. This girl's 15.
But she didn't consent to that type of overture.
No, she did not. She was
trying to enter a contest for blue jeans.
That's correct. And by dog-earing her entry and taking it out of the box, she was no longer eligible for blue jeans. How would anybody? I took it home. When the drawing was done, I stuck it in my back pocket. I saw her walk out of the mall. I put it in my back pocket.
You dirty boy.
Did I win Levi's for a year? No. Do you want dinner with me?
You get this, sugar.
Second prize.
What more could you ask for?
Do you like Applebee's?
I'd have to know what this young lady looked like.
Well, I don't know that factors in. I mean, he's young.
He's young. He's in his early 20s.
Yeah, if he's 20, but from
you cut him some slack.
From a business standpoint, you're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to do that. That's right.
Because it is a business. Now, if he saw her out somewhere and walking around and just happened to get her number, then maybe that's something else. But that's not the way to go about it.
Boy, but he got the wrong mom. I'll tell you that. Not only did she report it to DoorDash, she called the cops.
I don't have a problem with the DoorDash reporting.
I don't either.
But the cops might have been a little
too far.
Yeah, he didn't do anything illegal.
He just asked her, "Do you have a boyfriend?"
Yeah,
that's all it was.
What are the cops supposed to do?
Yeah. She said it's like.
Let's see if he's got a pattern.
Yeah. What did they?
They could see if he has a pattern.
What'd she call it? Tinder for pedophiles.
Yeah, something like that.
That was really rough. I cut him just the tiniest amount of slack. But. Now, listen, I got a 14-year-old daughter. I would hate.
You're about to enter that world.
I would sure hate that. If she answered the door and somebody texted her, the driver like that, it is a little creepy.
Yeah, but he didn't stand there and talk to her and try to engage with her in person when he made the delivery. I mean, he kind of went about it, the old-fashioned way, so to speak. Plus, this is a whole other thing with these damn phones, and that is people don't go out. Yeah. This DoorDash driver, you're 19, 20, where do you meet people? They don't go out. They don't go places. All they have is this phone.
Let me ask you this. If he was standing there at the door and he's 20 and she's 15, but I know what the mom said. You could mistake her for 18, maybe. Who knows?
It's possible.
So if she opens the door and he says, and they do the transaction, he gives her the food or whatever, and then he says, geez, you're really attractive. Would you mind if I called you for a date? Is that going over the line on your job like that?
Probably
the letter of the DoorDash code.
Yeah, I
by
think
their
you're right.
code.
The Dasher code.
He's broken the code of the Dasher. That's what he said. But the heart wants what it wants. I cut him just the tiniest amount of slack.
Yeah. If he was 25 or 30 years
that's
old,
different.
That's different.
That's gross.
Even if you're 25 or 30 and hitting on another 20-year-old like he did, that's not acceptable either. I don't think. No, I don't. I mean, you should know better. But the fact that they're both young, is
they are.
You get them just an ounce.
Did you see this woman last week? This went viral last week. She was apparently on a Zoom call with some colleagues. She was working. I don't even know her name. She was a former Miss Massachusetts. All right, so she's a gorgeous woman. Okay, Dave, that's the kind of behavior. You're going to be on this segment next week.
Back Bay?
She's Miss Back Bay. Okay.
Beauty Queen Nightmare.
Okay.
Southie.
Okay. She's Back Bay.
All right.
And she was Miss Massachusetts, and she's on a Zoom call with several male colleagues. She's working, I don't even know who she works for. She's working a deal. And an email goes round afterwards that she's a part of, that she wasn't supposed to be a part of. And they said, did you see that hot bombshell rocket with the nice tees? I mean, a lot of talk about her looks. Oh. And so she was very upset by this, as you can imagine. And so she says, she goes back on the Zoom call the next time and says, I want to work with somebody else. This is what she said. This is what went viral.
First of all, if we're going to continue working together, I want to work with a woman sales representative because I don't want to have to see locker room talk about myself when you're sharing screens. I know that was a mistake, but I don't want to see.
Inexcusable.
I just don't want to see locker room talk about myself. So if we could.
We have a couple of really good RSMs actually that you'll be able to work with. So
okay.
100% completely understand, and that's inexcusable. They sharing the screen, it shouldn't be talked about. So apologies on that.
One of the guys that she had a previous Zoom call with put an email out that said that woman was an effing bombshell, and then commented about her physical looks, and you heard what she did there. Now, can you cut the gentleman some slack for talking about her on an email? And I guess you can't.
No, I mean, it all comes down to that it's a workplace, and you're not.
It is a
supposed to do
workplace,
that.
but I mean, hasn't everybody at one time or another had somebody go through and you say, "Man, that girl was a rocket"? If you just say it to somebody,
Sure.
But
you leave it on paper.
Paper's the problem.
Put electronic trail.
That's it. I mean, many's the time. I shouldn't say this. Sometimes somebody walks through and you go, "Dang, she's hot," But if they hear it, it's the same thing. Yeah. But you just, they put it on paper, right?
And some of the language is probably inappropriate. That's what it is, too. I mean, people, work was the place sometimes to meet people. It used to be that was the way it was. I mean, people would go to work. You had an office to go to, unlike a lot of the way places are nowadays. And you would find somebody and, hey, people have gotten together that way.
But you wouldn't walk up to a woman and say, "You've got great tees."
No, you wouldn't say it to her.
That's what I mean.
But you could say, if somebody walked by, if I was young and single, and somebody walked by and I said, she's an effing bombshell, she's got great tees. And then later I see her in the conference room and I say, "Hey, would you like to go out for it?" And then maybe you're married one day, but you just don't know.
You got the whole movie planned out.
Yeah, it just happens. Yeah. I mean, it's just happening. Listen, people talk it. If it's overheard, that's it. This is just an overhearing. It just happens to be electronic.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's careless. And certainly in the age of email and texting, it's very careless.
It is careless.
But if you do it appropriately, if they're two, let's say, for example, 25-year-olds, male, female, and he is attracted to her and wants to ask her out, can he do it even though they work in the same building?
Well, I say yes.
I don't have a
problem.
problem
against HR codes now.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either. I mean, you work
as long as you're not inappropriate and you don't. It doesn't consume your work time.
Agreed. But then there is that possibility a year from now you go through a horrible breakup and you're working together and it's difficult,
A lot of companies don't allow it.
They don't. It's in our handbook, Dave.
Wow.
Have you seen the handbook? Cass.
What's this handbook you keep talking about?
Cass, you're talking about women in the workplace and how this woman was commented about. Go ahead.
Yes, it is completely unacceptable. I am a 26-year-old that works in construction, so I deal with it all the time, the locker room talk and everything.
Yeah.
It should not be tolerated whatsoever. if there's going to be a comment made, it doesn't even need to be made coworker to coworker anymore. I mean, it's 2023, guys. But I also will say I did marry a coworker.
Well, okay,
so.
there you go. So if you, as a woman, you're a 26-year-old woman, and in a work environment, let's say when you were single, and a really good-looking guy walked by, you wouldn't say to a colleague, "Wow, he's hot," something like that.
I mean, I would say it to my girlfriend who does not work at the company or something of that.
Right.
That thing, but not. You have to keep it professional in the workplace, and you never want somebody to feel like uncomfortable. You know.
And she did. This woman felt uncomfortable, and now wants women only to work with, and that's what. And he said, "It's you heard him say it's."
And it was poor language too.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you say she's an effing bombshell, you're right. You're right. Thanks, Cass. Appreciate it, and good for you for marrying a coworker.
And I'm kind of jealous.
I was
going to ask her out.
Yeah.